Hey, good afternoon. This is only to get you to quieten down.
Oh, so that was
A masked man from afar. What I'm really waiting for is to make sure our guest of honors, I know he's in the building, make sure he didn't turn around and leave. Well, anyway, while we're waiting, let me get started. My name's Earl Good. I'm the chair of the Board of Trustees for Georgetown College. And this indeed is a special day for Georgetown College. Now, I'd like to say it's historic, one of the greatest days ever, but only history will tell whether or not today's announcement will turn out that way. But I have a sneaking feeling that it will, because I've had a chance to visit with the gentleman and his family that we're going to introduce several times, and we're truly excited. But before I do that, and still waiting for our guest to arrive, let me introduce a few folks. We haven't done this for 22 years. So if we're a little awkward and we're not for sure how we're doing, how we're going about this, just forgive us. And we may take our time, so don't rush us. But I would like to introduce, is Amanda Millward from Congressman Barr's office here? Thank you so much for being here. And I know I saw David Atkinson, a graduate of Georgetown and president of the State Chamber. We're glad you're here. Is Dr. Airwood here from the Baptist Seminary of Kentucky? Well, you're about time. And one of my favorites, Mayor Varney, are you here? Stand up. Yeah. The reason he's one of my favorites, he's one of the all-time best basketball players in the old Kentucky Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. That's hard to say. Only problem was he played at Berea, not Georgetown. But you're a great partner, and we're delighted you're here, Mayor. Also, Mayor Christensen from Sadieville, are you here? Now, are you a suburb of Georgetown, or is he a suburb of Sadieville? Okay. I figured that was the case. I just wanted, for the record, to make sure. We have Jack Connor, Executive Director of the Georgetown Scott County Chamber. Stand up so I can see you at least. Thank you so much for all your support. Mason, is it Dixon from Dyer? Well, that's the way it looked to be. Mason, where are you? From the Kentucky Independent College Association. Thank you for being here. And George Lusby, the Judge Executive of Scott County. Thank you, Judge. Glad you're here. And I'm sure I missed someone, but it's Jim's fault if I did. I think the next thing I'd like to do before I move to the mission at hand is to introduce Greenetta Blevins, our acting president. And she's already standing, so wave. For a lot of reasons, she's made the day possible. And I'll speak more to that in a moment. But, you know, being acting or interim anything is very difficult. And not only is she making this difficult transition and assignment going so well, you're doing a super job. And I've had more comments from faculty, from I haven't talked to any students, but from other administrators really talking about what you've done in the short time you've been here. And Dr. Greene, that's going to be a hard act to follow. So thank you so much for what you're doing. Now I have the privilege of introducing the search committee, who's really made the day possible. Our chair, who's given untold hours, and he's the grandfather for the third time night before last, B.I. Houston from Louisville. Would you wait? Untold hours since February, and we truly appreciate your leadership. And I'm not for sure, because most of these were with us Friday at the board meeting, how many are here today, but we'll see. Richard Gaines, pastor from Lexington, there. Greg Barr, Louisville, front row. Frank Penn's in Singapore or someplace. That's not in Kentucky, I learned, by the way. Guthrie True, who is here, we will be praying for your father. I just heard that he had an accident. Randy Fox. By the way, this is the 4th search committee that Randy served on, and I'm not for sure how many presidents we've had, but we've had 23, so you only did 4 of them. And I think Frank has been on 3, and all of these gentlemen are trustees. From the faculty, Harold Talent. Harold, thank you. And Yoli Carter. Is Yoli here?
Back here.
We had to get a step ladder. Melanie Ladd, alumni representative. Melanie, did I see a hand? Okay, thank you. Well, you didn't stand up very tall. Holly Bartlett, parent representative from Louisville. Thank you. From representing the senior staff, Brian Evans, our athletic director, coach. And representing the students, Molly Schulte. And you're on your way to Duke. And they're on their way from North Carolina, and she's on her way to Duke. Now, what's going to be your area of study in graduate?
Divinity School.
Divinity School. All right. I think the best way for me to maybe introduce our 24th president is talk a little bit about the journey that got us to this point. And it's sort of interesting, and it's a little different journey than is the typical search. As you all know, I think it was the second week in May. By the way, search committee was appointed late November, holiday season. It was really sometime mid-January before they got organized, and the search actually began early February, which is a little less than 7 months. And I know folks thought this was taking forever, but most searches of this nature take 9, 10, 12 months. So I'm very pleased with not only the speed of which they worked, but also extremely pleased with the outcome. Anyway, going back to the second, I believe, week in May of the search committee, it sort of set a time frame that they'd like to get this resolved before school was out. And so they brought some candidates to campus, and for a variety of reasons, that didn't work out. Back to work the search committee went. By mid-June, they were considering some other people that they maybe even given serious consideration to bring before the trustees and the Georgetown community for consideration. I remember, I don't even know what day it was or whatever, because one thing the trustees and the search committee came to firm conviction as it relates to it's better to get it right than to rush the process. Better to get it right than to rush the process. So I recall B.I. called me because he'd been sharing with me from the search committee's perspective that they may be getting close to some more candidates for serious consideration. And he said he got a call from the gentleman that representing the search firm that they had hired and identified this gentleman from Campbell University, said he hadn't applied, had no idea whether he'd even be interested. But based on what the search committee was trying to identify in terms of background criteria and so forth, he had all those attributes. But it could be 2 or 3 weeks before they can even visit with him. So BI and the search committee determined, going back, it's better to get it right than how quick we do it, decided they'd wait and have the opportunity to visit with him. So over ensuing weeks, some dialogue occurred. And as I recall, it was Friday after 4th of July. Dr. Greene came out, I don't know, it may have been more out of curiosity. And it was a confidential visit. He got here late on a Saturday morning, and I think he returned maybe 6 o'clock that night or early the next morning. He wasn't here very long. But he wanted to visit with a few of the leaders from the college, and then he spent 2 or 3 hours with the search committee. And I remember, I was out in Iowa by the next day, and I remember getting a call from BI. He said, we know, we've told you all along, we're not for sure exactly what we're looking for, but we'll know it when we see it. He said, we saw it yesterday. And whether or not he'll be interested, but now we know the kind of people that's potentially available, and we're going to find somebody like that if he's not available. Few more days, a week or two goes by. BI, by the way, Coach, if you want somebody who knows how to recruit, there's your man. A few more days go by, and Dr. Greene decides to bring his wife over to visit. Again, confidential. I don't even know, besides a few folks you may have had dinner with, that you visited anyone. Wanted to show her the campus and so forth. And again, they got in here about 7 o'clock on Friday night and left at 11 o'clock the next day. So we're still not for sure, because remember, he didn't apply. He's got a great job. But the more we interact with the man, and the more the search committee is doing their due diligence, the more it's affirming this is the right man for Georgetown at this time. I think 2 weeks go by, more dialogue, more discussion. We're learning a lot more about him, and I'm sure he's learning a lot more about us. And that's when he agrees, and I think it was a week ago this past Friday, the last Friday in July, that he came for a public visit, and many of you had the opportunity to visit with him. And as you know, there's an opportunity for feedback and all that anonymous. Well, it was a home run. The feedback that was received across the board, whether it's students, faculty, administration, public, was very, very affirming. So as a result of that, on Monday this week, the search committee met and unanimously, 12-0, voted to recommend to, or last Monday, today's Monday, isn't it? Last Monday, agreed or to recommend to the board, and we met last Friday, of the 26 trustees, 24, we had Frank in Singapore and one of our members in the hospital, but the vote was 24-0 to make Dr. Michael Dwaine Greene the 24th president of Georgetown College. And the reason I sort of wanted to talk about the journey is he didn't apply. In fact, I was told you still haven't applied. But he was identified and recruited, led by B.I. Houston and a number of his fellow search committee members over several weeks, maybe a couple of months. And as I said a while ago, the more we learned about him, whether it's formal or informal due diligence, the more it became apparent that this is the right person at this time to be our president. And I'll sort of end my comments with this. There was one attribute the trustees felt was more important than anything else as it relates to this. And Dr. Greene met this in spades. As you get to know him, you'll learn. Is probably the most important thing to us. Leadership, accomplishment, academic, all those things are important. But probably number one was that our 200-plus years of a tradition and heritage, that this is a Christian college that provides an exceptional academic opportunity for young men and women, was the most important. And we wanted someone that would not only respect that heritage, but would be the kind of person that would grow and enhance it. And that is the final reason why I think this man will be a great president for Georgetown College. Before I ask him to come up and you get to meet him, I would like for Carolyn, our next First Lady, if you would stand. Now, we don't know near as much about her yet as we'll get to know. But one thing we've learned, and this has come from several sources, that back at Campbell, the individual that attends more student events, whether it's athletic, drama presentations, music, others, is Carolyn Greene. In fact, the first, pardon?
I thought you were going to say Dwaine.
Well, I'm just quoting what I learned. And the first question when I met her a few weeks ago that she asked me wasn't about stuff. It was about do the faculty and administration, do they support and attend the activities of the college on a regular basis? So I think we got something to look forward to there. They also have with them their daughters, Patricia and Meredith. And I'm sure, would you all stand? Now, I get it mixed up, so you'll straighten it out. But one of them is an ordained minister on her way back from Iowa, where she's been serving to become chaplain of a major hospital in the Raleigh-Durham area. I think Raleigh-Durham. Okay. North Carolina. And the other is a PhD student in some kind of medical research that I have no idea how to pronounce the name. And I hope whatever it is, I never catch it. But and learn how to pronounce. But with that, it truly is my honor to bring to you the 24th president. By the way, he'll be here October 21st. And the reason I said Grenetta indirectly played a major role in our ability to work out time is when we understood this may be a while back in June, we said who would be the best person to serve as an interim basis. And clearly, I think 2 or 3 of us independently said Grenetta Blevins. So Grenetta, the opportunity for you to continue to serve as acting president until Dr. Greene fulfills his obligations at Campbell until October 21st made this thing a whole lot easier. So again, with that, our 24th president, Dr. Greene.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Board Chairman Good, Search Committee Chair Mr. Houston, Acting President Ms. Blevins, trustees, students, faculty and staff, community, special friends, to you all, I want to thank you for selecting me as president of Georgetown College. Thank you very much. I have spoken before thousands of people, but I have never spoken before a crowd quite like this one. And I see in your faces some joy, and in some of your faces perhaps not knowing exactly what to expect, but I want you to know that I'm very grateful. I have been very deeply honored by Georgetown College, and that is not lost on me at all. From a distance, I have respected Georgetown College a great deal. And when I say from a distance, it is the distance of states, but also sharing the kinship of institutions and the kinship of purposes. My professional career has been in Christian higher education. And as many of you are aware, I have served for the last 12 years as the provost of Campbell University. And from a distance, I know of other Baptist colleges, and I know of what they have meant to their states. And as I have known only a bit of Georgetown College through the years, it has been so good. And the fact is that when I see Georgetown College, I see a place that is worthy of tremendous, tremendous respect. And that is the way in which I approach this from the initial call. The fact is that I was not looking to leave. Chairman Good has stated that exactly correctly. Up until a few months ago, had no idea. I was enjoying my work, continue to enjoy the work at Campbell. It's a very fine place. And when this opportunity arose, I quite honestly was not sure whether to extend to another conversation or not. But as the weeks unfolded, I came to sense that I should. When I see Georgetown College, what I see is a combination of things that mean a great deal to me. I see a very high-quality academic tradition, and that's one of the places that I start. That means a great deal to me. I see church-related traditions. I see Baptist traditions and church traditions in the best of higher education. I see that at Georgetown College. I see a lot of distinguished graduates. There are distinguished alumni over 180 years here. Campbell is a very fine university, but it has only been a four-year college for 50 years. And when I see Georgetown College, I see a place that has such deep roots of many, many decades, and I respect that very, very deeply. I respect alumni and very fine athletic traditions and so many things that as I have come to know more about Georgetown College, those things have come to mean more and more to me, and that will deepen as every week goes by. I'd like to thank several people, and you'll understand these thanks. The first thanks that I offer is thanks to the good Lord. I do believe in the will of God, and were it not for that, I would not be here. I did not sense early on that I really needed to come, or for that matter, was a bit unsure about even wanting to come. But as the weeks have unfolded, there's been a lot of prayers in Kentucky, and there's been a lot of prayers in North Carolina. And I always want to do the will of God as best I can discern it, and that is why I am here. So I offer my deep gratitude always to the good Lord. I want to thank the Board of Trustees and the search committee, because you're seeking to put your trust in an individual who has not served as a president before. I have served in a context and had experience where I believe that I can help Georgetown College, and I'm looking forward to that very much. But there were many other individuals to whom you could have turned. I know, as I have understood, there were dozens who were interested, and when you turned from that pool and you started ferreting out some more candidates, there would be many, many other candidates to whom you could have turned. But you turned to me. You sought me out, and that resonates with me as well. And so I thank the board, and I thank the search committee. I extend deep thanks to my family, and I want to introduce them to you just a bit more. Mr. Good did a fine job, but I've known them for many years, and I want to say just a bit more about them. And if they will, I want to invite them up, and family, if you will, come on up. Carolyn and Patricia and Meredith, I want them to stand here just a moment and let me say another word about them. This is my wife, Carolyn. Carolyn is originally from Pennsylvania. We met in the college years, and we have been married for 33 years. We celebrated our 33rd anniversary just this summer. And it's been a tremendous relationship. She has been a wonderful spouse and mother to our children. Beside Carolyn is our oldest daughter, Patricia. Patricia, Mr. Good stepped one step ahead here. She is to be ordained as a Baptist minister on September the 22nd. And we're thrilled about that. She has sensed a good calling in her life from the good Lord, and we're very happy about that. We are on our way back now. The reason we were all able to be here together at this point is that we are on the way back, making a trip from Iowa back to North Carolina. Patricia has been serving this past year as a resident, sort of an associate minister type, I'll say, at a church in Muscatine, Iowa. And so my wife and I and our other daughter came along a day later. We have been to Iowa and packed the U-Haul, and we're headed back this way. So this is our daughter Patricia. She did her divinity degree at Union Seminary in Richmond. Both of these daughters are graduates of Campbell University, and Patricia went on to Union and did her Master of Divinity, and we're very, very proud of her. And beside her is the scientist in the family. We kind of nicknamed these daughters Body and Soul here because one's a scientist and one's in divinity. On the end is our daughter Meredith. Meredith was a biochemistry major at Campbell and is currently working. She's in the third year of her PhD in molecular medicine and translational sciences at Wake Forest. And she is seeking to either block or cure osteoarthritis, and we keep telling her to speed that right along because we know a lot of people that want to do that. But Carolyn and I have been very blessed. We thank the Lord every day. We have been very blessed as a couple and very blessed with our daughters. So I wanted you to see my family as well. So thanks for standing up a moment. Yeah. Lastly, I want to thank my friends and colleagues of many years. Just thinking through the years, I have been professionally employed in higher education now for 27 years. And through those years, I have had some very fine colleagues. I'm preparing now to step to another chapter, and I will embrace the very fine colleagues here on the faculty and staff at Georgetown College. There have been many colleagues who helped shape me along the way, and though they're not here today, I have been formed in part by their good influence on me, and I would like to thank those many friends and many colleagues through my years. As I look ahead, the main goal that I see is to move Georgetown College forward. I expect Georgetown College to flourish as a Christian institution of higher education. And I will be fully prepared to work with the trustees and the faculty and the staff here at Georgetown College to make that happen. This is a very fine college. It's a very fine college with a wonderful tradition. I'm thrilled to be a part of that. I have a great deal of respect for the expertise that is already here. There are people here who have been doing their jobs very well a long time before the name Dwaine Greene was mentioned at Georgetown College. And I'm looking forward to embracing those colleagues and working with them here. I look forward to working with the community, with Georgetown, the town of Georgetown, with Scott County, with the churches, with Toyota and other businesses and industries in this area. I look forward to that very, very much. I intend to be Georgetown proud in every way. It already started in a tentative way, but it starts big time today. And the signal of that is something you may have noticed and perhaps not. But for the last 12 years, my lapel pin has been a Campbell University lapel pin. And today, the lapel pin changes. Today, it is a Georgetown College lapel pin. We will, as a college, we will plan and we will be progressive and we will move forward. We will not back up, but we will move forward as a college. So again, I thank you very much. I thank you for being present today. You had other things to do on a Monday afternoon, but you carved a little time out to be with us today, and I appreciate that very much. So thank you so much for this afternoon. Thank you.
For the media, we do have biographical information on the college that'll be available, and also Dr. Greene, Granetta, and BI, the search committee chairman, will be available in the event the media wishes to do any one-on-one with any of the three. So Jim down here is. So with that, thank you very much for being here to welcome our 24th president. More to come later.